Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, I was just thinking about, you know, the story or the game, that we played, when we were kids, or some children still play it today, called Duck, Duck, Goose. Where we sit in a circle and one child is chosen to go around and say, hit or tap children on the tops of the head as they go around saying duck, 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 until they decide to choose a child that's the goose. And that goose has to get up and run while the other child chases them until they make it back to their spot. If they don't make it, then they're the actual child that has to pick another goose. But then I started thinking about that word duck. When something is coming at you fast and you have to duck, like a person that's in a ring fighting, they have to duck from the throws that are coming through to them. And then I started thinking about also that word duck that could have been in the story of David and Goliath. That Goliath probably told David that he better duck, if he saw him coming. But in actuality, Goliath should have ducked when he saw the sling in David's hand coming to him. In that story, we should have thought, he should have thought, never underestimate the power of God, or even a boy in that matter. So I want to know, what Goliath are you facing in your life? What giant are you facing in your life? We always kind of face giants. We have giants that we think are bigger than God. Loneliness, rejection, fear, so many of them. Financial giants that we think are bigger than God. But before giants fall by your sling, however, there may be some warm-up battles that we have to go through. God warms us up before we can fight those battles. David, we know, was a shepherd boy. He had to be warmed up before he could fight the battle that he had to fight with Goliath. He fought animals that tried to come and kill his sheep. David killed a lion and a bear because he loved his sheep. So when King Saul asked David, are you sure? David said, I can belt him. And guess what? He did. So because David had practiced trusting God to help him protect the sheep, David was prepared to trust God in facing that giant Goliath. So when we trust God, however, people around us will say and ask us, are we sure? Are you sure? So they're going to offer their own advice, as Saul did. Saul offered his armor to God, and they'll question our actions as well. But though Saul offered David the best armor in the kingdom, he decided to stick with what he knew best, and that was his trusty sling, that little bitty sling. So if you're going to wear armor, no weapon can pierce this armor. Trusting in the better stuff of technology will not win the battle against one who is shielded by the power of God. So Goliath had all the best stuff, and that best stuff that he had, that bronze helmet, that armor, that shin guard, a 17-pound spear, and a shield bearer who walked in front of him that was supposed to protect him. All of that, earthly stuff, that technology stuff that was supposed to protect him. But in the end, that sling overpowered all of that stuff that he thought was going to protect him from little bitty old David. So don't get sidetracked in battle and become afraid of those who with the better stuff. Remember the lesson of David and Goliath. According to James 11, if you believe in God, he will be there for you when you need him. And he will help you to do things you usually aren't capable of doing. So remember, your giant is not bigger than the God that you serve. Now, if you are the giant and you're picking on the little bitty people that are David's, then you need to pick on somebody that's your own size. But if you are the David right now, remember, the battle is definitely the Lord's. So when you face your Goliath, who are you putting your trust in? Who are you going to trust? What are you going to trust in? Because it's not the earthly things, it's not the technological things that's going to get you through. God is the one that's going to have that sling that's going to fight and knock that giant down. Remember, no giant that you are facing is bigger than the God that you serve. He is gonna one that's gonna knock it out for you. He is gonna have that knockout punch for you that's gonna bring you through every single time. And I just wanted to remind you of that. So remember, whatever giant, whoever that giant is you're facing, whatever giant you're facing, tell that giant that you've got a God that's bigger than they are. So they better watch out and they better duck, because you got some punches that are coming that's going to knock them out. All right, my friends, be blessed. Remember, always be a blessing to others. Share that beautiful smile with everyone. Whether they deserve it or not, you still share that love of Christ with them. Bye-bye now.